Hello. So in the last video, we started creating this dashboard and we added some lists for each tier to track the activities for each tier in this accountability system, tiered accountability system. And so I added a first card to track the operator's activities and things that they need to do. And so I'm going to continue by adding cards for the remaining tiers and trying to match this dashboard here. Okay, so this the next thing I need to do is I need to add a card. So for shift B for line 2 output. Okay, so I'm going to add a second card to the first list here. So I click add card. So you can add as many cards to the list as you like for any given tier. And so this is the second card. And once again, once I click on it, it expands and I can add a description. So this is the description. I'm just going to copy it. Once again, I'll share this description, a link to it in these instructions in the comment section so that you can follow along and copy and paste descriptions and things like that if you need to. So I'll just put this here, but essentially for line 2, the operators need to track the output quantity, defective units, defect rate, things like that. Okay, so these are just dummy data to show you how it might work in real life. So obviously, if you're building a real board, you would want to use the actual quantities at the factory, but these are for illustration purposes. So I click save here. That's my card. And obviously you can see that now I have 2 cards and I want to add a checklist to this one called add DPR, and it's going to be the same checklist items I added for line 1. And so line 2, I want to add a checklist, and the name of the checklist is add DPR. And here, instead of typing everything again, since I already did it for line 1, I can use the same list for shift A line up, and that will 1 second, checklist. This is the definition, and then I need to click this and choose. Um, let's see here. The title is DPR and copy items from this. Okay. So the previous name was add DPR. I'm using the same name actually for want of a better name, so I'll just go with that. Okay, so you can see it just created the same checklist that I had for shift 1 here. So again, if the operator completes any of these items, they can mark them as completed. So I just marked this one. So you can see the completion rate is 20% of time marked that is completed. And then I can set a due date. Okay, so I'll just pick a random time and then I'll assign it the on track label. So the due date, I go to dates here and actually I'll just make it tomorrow's date. Okay, so that's tomorrow at that time. You can pick any time you like, maybe let's say 5 p.m. And set a reminder 10 minutes before or something like that. I mean, you can use whatever you want, but I'm just inventing this as I go. So that's that. And then I want to give it a label. So I come here and instead of creating a new label, since I previously created these labels, I click show more labels. Anything that's missing, it'll show it. So I click on track here. That's the one I want to assign to it. And you can see it's showing that this one is in track. And let me see what else they want me to do on this card. I've already done this, added this label. And so that's that one. And then the next thing is we're going to move to, so we have one red, one green illustration. So supervisors will know which one to focus on. The red is the one that needs immediate attention. And so now one more thing I need to do is I want to go to Shift A and copy the link to this card so that I paste it in Shift B, the second card. We're gonna add this card to the supervisor card when we create it. Okay, so let me go here. So now that I've done this, let me close this and go back to this card. Okay, so because we want the supervisor to pay attention to this item, I'm going to go to this card and under the share of the card. Okay, so each card has you have an option to share the card where you click the three dots here, you can click share. And then this is the link to copy for that card. So I'm going to copy this link. You can get an embed code for it as well, but I'm just going to use the link and I'm going to close the card. So I'll paste the link somewhere here just so that I can quickly copy it. But this is the link to the card. If you were to click on this or paste this link anywhere, it'll open that card. So the idea is you want to paste the link to the card that has the red, which is a critical issue, in the supervisor's card so that they can look at it and know what needs attention. So you can see when I pasted that link in the browser, it brought up the particular card and it says that the defect rate is greater than 5.8%, which is about the target. So the supervisor knows this is what they need to fix on the online line one shift A. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a supervisor card now. So I click add here, and then the name of that is supervisor that I want to give it this name. Okay, so you can give it any name, but I'm just not good at coming up with names, so I'm just going to use what they suggested. And then when I click on this card, I'm going to get to add the description. So this is the description for that card. So I'm going to copy this description and I'm going to come here and I'm going to paste it. Okay, so you can see it added this here, but I don't, so I have to edit the link because it doesn't have a link yet. And what I want to add to this link is a link to the card that has the item that needs the supervisor to act on. So I paste it here and the display text is okay. So I save and the description is okay. So obviously this supervisor gets today's highlight. They manage 3 lines, line 1, line 2, line 3, and this is a link to line 1 output, which has a critical issue. So today's highlight, line 1, defect rate is 5.8%. Primary symptom rejects that final sorting, initial action, recalibrate sorting sensor, monitor next run escalation. The defect rate is greater than 5%. So you might need to escalate to the department. Okay, so this is the supervisor's card with a list of things that they need to pay attention to. And now I want to add, I just added the description. So I need to add a checklist called supervisor verification. So the supervisor needs to do some verification. So I'm going to come here and add a checklist called that. And then this time I'm going to add specific items for this card. So this is the first item in the list, and the supervisor is supposed to. So I'm just going to add the list, and then this is the first item. So the supervisor is supposed to validate operator accounts versus evidence. That's the first thing they need to do. They need to confirm the defect rate calculation is correct. And so I have that as a checklist item for the supervisor. And I think I might not have pasted that. Oh, let me make sure I copy this here. So confirm defect rate calculation. I need to copy that and paste it here as the second item that this supervisor needs to do for their lines. And then they also need to set labels based on a threshold. They need to assign one of these colors depending on how critical or not critical the item is. And then they need to escalate to the department if its rate of the defect rate exceeds 5%. And so I add that here. And finally, I think there's one more. They need to assign owner for immediate fix. And then, yeah, so these are the things that the supervisor needs to do as part of their checklist, and we can check any of these items if they've done them. And so let's say if the supervisor has done these three, they can check them, and you can see if adding comments about things that I've done here, activity and comments. And then so I've added those. I need to add a label and a due date. And so the label is critical, the due date is 6 p.m. So we're going to go here and add a label to this card, something that's critical, and add a date. I just use tomorrow's date. I'll make it 5 p.m. because that sounds more like closing time. And then set a reminder 1 hour before that time. Save. And that's the supervisor's card. So if the supervisor comes to this card and they click this, it'll take them to shift A line 1 output where the problem is so that they can see what the information is there. This is the output, this is the defective unit, so its effective rate is greater than 5%, so somebody needs to act on it. And so that's how we link the operator card to the supervisor's card so that they know where to track the issue to and what the issue is and what to do. Okay, so that's that card. And then there is one last, okay, so not last card, but there's a list. I need to create a department manager card. And then I need to, so the department compiles issues and assign corrective action. So I need to create this card. The card is called Processing Department Week 36 Summary. So let me go here and add a card for the department. Let me just, and then I click add. And then the description is here. So I'm just going to copy and paste instead of typing. And these are the things that the department tracks. So actually, I need to click here and paste it. Okay. So I will finish, in order not to make this video too long, I'll finish the rest of the stuff in the next video. So stay tuned and I'll see you in the next video.